Hi, we have a lot of people that are not sure what to do with the COVID-19 assistance that a lot of the banks are offering. And should they stop paying their mortgage? What the banks are not telling you, there's several things that they're not telling you. They're just offering you, you don't want to pay for 3 months, it's fine. You don't want to pay for 6 months, it's fine. We're here to assist you during the COVID crisis. But then once you start looking up the fine print, then you can start to see that basically there's a lot of things that they are not being upfront with. And the more informed you are, the better you're able to make a better decision in figuring out what you want to do. So what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing that a lot of the mortgage companies are offering this. I'm not saying all of them are. Of course, I'm not speaking for all mortgage companies. I'm just saying the ones that I've come across. I do work with a lot of foreclosures. I'm an investor, and I do come across these foreclosures a lot. So I'm able to call the mortgage companies on behalf of the homeowner and figure out what's going on and see what I'm able to request. So from there, we're able to see what they're offering these homeowners before and how they operate, how the forbearance agreements work, the repayment plans, the loan modifications, the short sales, all the stuff that's available to homeowners that are going through a foreclosure. Now, most people want to keep their property, of course. If you're a family and you are used to the neighborhood, you don't want to leave your home. Who some people want to stay there forever. And they get an emotional attachment to the property, which is fine, it's normal. But you want to be able to look at it with a clearer picture as far as the numbers and what's going on and what they're really offering you. And then from there, you evaluate and make sure that you don't dig yourself in a hole. And then later, you're in a worse position than you are now. And then you end up getting foreclosed on or in a worse situation than you were before. Now, what they're offering right now, it's a forbearance agreement. And basically, they're putting the payments on hold for 3 months, for 6 months. And now I'm not saying all the banks are doing that. All the mortgage companies are doing that. I'm saying some of these banks, the major ones that I work with, are offering this. I even had one that we took over the payments about 3 months ago. And we have a renter there, and it's getting rented out and everything. And they called us to see, hey, did you need any help? Did you want to go ahead and get assistance? So they're actually reaching out to homeowners from what we're seeing via email, via the website, calling them, telling them that they want to go ahead and pause the payments for 3 months, for 6 months. But then once you see like the fine print, then you'll start to see more information. So those payments are due at the end of 3 months. They're due at the end of 6 months. So is it really free money? If it's really free money, if after 3 months, then you will have to pay the three. If you owe $1,000 per month, and then in 3 months you're going to have to owe the 3,000. If you don't pay that on time, then they'll go ahead and start foreclosure proceedings on you. Or if it's 6 months, and then the same thing, they'll start foreclosure proceedings. Now, once they start those foreclosure proceedings, they're going to go ahead and forward it over either to an attorney in-house or an outsource attorney. And an attorney is going to cost money, and the one that's going to end up paying for that is going to be you as the homeowner. So I've seen them charge anywhere from 500 up to $6,000. So imagine, let's just go ahead and be moderate. And so you haven't been paying for 6 months. You start going to foreclosure proceedings. Now they've added 3,000, so now you owe 9,000. You're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this? They will maybe try to put you on a repayment plan. So the repayment plan sounds very good. Sounds like, okay, this is a good idea. They're going to put me on a repayment plan. This bank's pretty cool. Now you got to remember, these banks, they are not a charity. They're actually a business, and they have to make money. They're in the business of making money, not losing money. Repayment plan, basically what it does, let's say you're behind 6 months, so you're on month 7, and they offer you a repayment plan. And then they say, well, just pay us back in a repayment plan. So you're happy, you get your next paper statement, you get your next bill. Now you have a payment of 3,000. And you're like, why? My payment's only 1,000. Why are you charging me 3? They're like, oh, we put you on a repayment plan. So what we did is we went ahead and added 2 payments to your regular payment. That way you can catch up and you'll be good. Doesn't make sense, right? I get a lot of calls from people that have been put on these repayment plans. Then they can't repay the payment. They couldn't pay 1,000. What makes them think that they're going to pay $3,000 per month? And they're back in the same situation. They're back into the foreclosure. They're probably added more fees for the attorney fees because, of course, these attorneys are not free either. They're a business. So if the bank offers you loss mitigation or loan modification, that's an option that you have, right? If you haven't received a loan modification in the last 2 years, you should be able to apply for this. Now, if you applied and you received a loan modification a year ago and you're trying to apply for a new loan modification, you're going to get denied. You can only do them every 2 years. We've seen people do these, and they now let me tell you how loan modification works. I've seen them work 2 ways. I've seen them where people they owe maybe they owe $1,800 per month. They're behind so many months, so now they owe 25,000. And what they'll do, they'll either put that payment at the end and increase the payment. So that if they put it at the end in one and they don't add any more years, your payment will go up. So I've seen that go up by 200. They normally don't do that. What I see them do more, and this is more profitable to them, is to say you've been in the property for 15 years. And, after 10 years, for 10 years, you've just been paying interest on your loan. And now at the from the 11th to the 30th year, you end up paying more of your balance, and the balance goes down. So, at 15 years, you're probably paying off most of the balance and you're pretty good shape, but you end up, going through this COVID-19 issue, and they offer you this loan modification. We'll get you out of this foreclosure. Don't worry about it. We'll go ahead and spread the payments throughout, or we'll spread your loan. A lot of times they don't even tell what the terms are to the people. I know because I've talked to the mortgage companies when the homeowner is there, or when I talk to them and they give me access to the mortgage companies, they don't even tell them what the terms are. They'll just tell them, we'll give you a loan modification, we'll get you out of the foreclosure, you'll stay in your house. The homeowner right away says, yes, let's do it. What they don't know is that either the payment will go up, or worse, they'll reset the homeowner again to 30 years. So if they've been in there 15 years, they'll get reset like if they just bought a new home from the beginning. So they're at year 1 and they have 30 more years to go. I've seen homeowners get reset to to 40 years. 40 years. The person's like what 30, no, like 40 years old, and they get reset to another 40. So that person's going to be paying that property until they're 80. The way they get reset, just to make the payment lower. And the homeowner at the time, they say yes. So some people might not have enough equity. They just got maybe they just bought the property about 5 years ago, 3 years ago. If they try to sell it, they're gonna be in the negative because they have to pay the commission to the realtors. And they're sometimes the realtor be like, well, I've talked to people where they listed the home with the realtor. They were they Somebody bought the house, they went to the closing, and then the realtor tells them, oh, by the way, you're gonna have to bring $10,000 to closing. They never tell them. And so you got to make sure, how much money is this going to cost me money to sell this house. So we as a company, we do provide, if we want to take over your payments, we can take over your payments. And basically that's for people that either don't have a lot of equity in the house. For some reason, they can't sell the house. Maybe they have a lien or something, a judgment, something going on where they can't close the traditional way. So there's other options that we can do that. So feel free to call us. Um, this is our number. This is our website. You can also, if you can also do a cash sale. So maybe the house is in a bad shape. You can't really list it. It's a hoarder house. You, whatever the reason could be that you can't list it through the traditional way, even though it has equity, we could still go ahead and um, get it sold for you, buy the property, and that way you just don't hand it over to the mortgage company. Because basically, if you let it go into foreclosure, you're just handing it over when you could have gotten some cash for it, or you'll end up also messing up your credit. You could do bankruptcy as well, but you want to make sure that you don't dig yourself more in a hole. And I've seen people do this. They'll they'll do like the bankruptcy one or twice. And that equity that they did have on there where they were able to get some cash, they no longer have it because they're just there trying to, put a band-aid over the situation, and they end up doing short sale. Short sale is basically you're in the negative and then you're liable for the amount. So if the house they sell it at 80% of what you owe, that amount that the bank wasn't able to get, then you'll get taxed for that. Deed in lieu is when you give the property back to the mortgage company. That is an option that you have, but that will show up on your record. So if you're able to get some cash or have us take over the payments, we can do that for you. Refinance. You don't want to try to do the refinance while the foreclosure is going on, because most of the mortgage companies are not going to want to refinance because they see that you haven't paid, that you're late on your payments. And a lot of people get stuck in the idea of I'm going to refinance, not knowing that at the end they might just go ahead and get denied and foreclosed on, and then money that they could have had, credit that they could have saved, ends up getting ruined and they get no money at all. Loan modification, like I said, I explained all the benefits of it. You get to stay in your home, but they do change the terms of your loan. So you might end up getting screwed that way. We do work nationwide, so feel free to email us your address, or call us and tell us what your situation is with your property. Visit us at our website, and we're more than happy to help you with whatever you're going through. And if you have any other questions regarding if we can assist, we'll definitely help you.